What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with the Daily Dirt, and Nancy Pelosi is getting blasted on social media and in the actual media for delaying this stimulus package and making it a lot smaller than the $1.8 trillion package that the White House offered her previously. Mitch McConnell is also taking a lot of heat, but not nearly as much as Nancy Pelosi, because of her remarks not long ago that she supports a smaller stimulus package now because Biden won the election. Let's listen.
You are on the precipice of getting a coronavirus deed, and you can't. If you are on the precipice,
we'll be on before that.
Okay. But what shifted, in your opinion, when the Problem Solvers Caucus had a much larger bill a few months ago? You did not like that piece of legislation.
But
what has shifted now when they're on board with this piece that's come out of the Senate?
perhaps you missed what I said earlier. Joe Biden committed to ending and crushing the virus and having a Build a Better America initiative, Build Back Better, a vaccine, answer to our prayers, an answer to our prayers of 95% effectiveness in terms of Pfizer and Moderna, and there may be others coming forward. That is a total game changer, a new president and a vaccine. So there's nothing to, these are different. What was then before was not more of this. This has simplicity. It's what we've had in our bills. It's for a shorter period of time, but that's okay now because we have a new president, a president who recognizes that we need to depend on science to stop the virus, a president who understands that America's working families need to have money in their pockets in a way that takes them into the future without any of the contraptions of any of the other bills that the administration was associating itself with them before. We feel very excited about the prospect that there's a bipartisan bill, because I told members I'm not bringing any more bills that are not bipartisan. We wanted to show what needs to be done.
So Nancy Pelosi's excited that they were able to pass a bill that is half the size that was previously offered to her by the White House, which is, was $1.8 trillion. And now they passed a $900 billion bill, which something's better than nothing. She's excited that they were able to pass a bill that was half the size that she was offered before the election, that she easily could have took. But it's okay now because what she says is we have a new president. So she basically admits to her political agenda of not taking a stimulus package that was twice the size, that could have easily had twice the amount for stimulus checks and unemployment. And even Bernie Sanders, who is as far Democrat as you can get, is blasting Nancy Pelosi also.
Perfect, the enemy of the good.
No, I'm not. Look, as you recall, Trump himself has agreed in the past to, I believe, a $1.8 trillion bill, including these $1,200 direct payments. It's something that Trump has already supported. What we need is a compromise. I know I can't get everything that I want, but this bill really is not a compromise. It gives the Republicans almost everything that they wanted. And one of the interesting parts about it, as I understand it, and I have not seen the proposal yet, but Mitt Romney, who is one of the Republican negotiators, said that over $500 billion of this $900 billion in the bill is not new money. It's money being shifted away from the old CARES Act, money that has not yet been spent. So we're talking about $350 billion or so new dollars, when Democrats originally talked about over $3 trillion in new money to help working families in this country. So I don't think this is much of a compromise. I think we've got to do a lot better and negotiate a lot harder.
Well, you talked about that $1.8 trillion bill that the White House, Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, was working on with the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The Democrats walked away from that bill
right,
because they wanted $2.2 trillion, and they walked away from $1.8 trillion. Was that a mistake?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Here was a proposal much, much larger. Democrats said, no, that's not good enough. And now we're prepared to accept a proposal which has, I think, $350 billion in new money, and which has, we believe, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, this corporate immunity language as well. So that's my point here, is that I don't think this is much of a compromise. I think the Republicans have probably gotten 90% of what they want. Our job is to fight, at least get a 50-50 deal.
Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader for the Republicans, has also taken a lot of heat, but he responds to Nancy Pelosi.
Let's bring in Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who, of course, was part of these negotiations. And, Senator, I want you to have a listen to Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Whenever a deal like this comes together, each side tries to say that the other side caved. Here's how she spins it.
What took so long? What took so long is because we could not get our Republican colleagues to crush the virus. I couldn't understand it. Why would they not want to invest in the science that has told us so importantly that it required testing, tracing, treatment, separation, sanitation, and the rest?
Senator, how do you think you would describe the delay in getting this deal to fruition today?
Well, Dana, the facts are not irrelevant. I said back in July what the country needed was a package roughly $1 trillion focused on kids in school, small businesses, healthcare providers, and direct cash payments. We tried to pass, we started advocating that in July and August. The talks were unproductive. So I essentially put that bill on the floor of the Senate in both September and October. Not a single Democrat supported it. Their view was, give us everything we want or we won't give you anything. Well, so it's noteworthy that at the end, they finally gave us what we could have agreed to back in July. I think what held it up was they did not want to do anything before the presidential election. I think they felt that that would disadvantage the president. But look, we finally got it done. We got it done in exactly the same amounts and with the same configuration that we would have been able to do back in the summer, but for all the intervening election shenanigans on the side of the Speaker and Democratic leader Schumer.
What about for people out there? So many of them are hurting, facing eviction, their bills are piling up, their restaurants are closed, they really want to work but they can't, that feel that this bill even is too little, too late, and that Congress is out of touch with what people are really going through?
It's not too little, too late. It's directly targeted at exactly what the country needs right now. If after the new administration comes in, they want to advocate more, we'll take a look at it based upon conditions in the country at that time. But look, the only thing that will stop this dilemma is the vaccine, and it's going out, being distributed all over the country. We're going to get the country vaccinated as rapidly as we possibly can. That is the only way we ultimately get a handle on this problem.
So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you blame Nancy Pelosi for not taking that $1.8 trillion deal and the delay? I think the delay could probably go to both Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi. They've both delayed it at their own times. But Nancy Pelosi was offered that $1.8 to $1.9 trillion deal, which is twice the amount of the stimulus package that we got from this deal. You heard even Bernie Sanders say there's only about $350 billion of new money in this bill. All of it's old money. But it does look like there will be a very good possibility of another stimulus check next month. You heard even Mitch McConnell there reiterated, as he has several times now in different interviews, that he knows the new administration is going to be asking for more stimulus and that they are prepared to work on that bill going forward because the Biden administration has made it their top priority. And that's if the Biden administration or the Democrats don't win those 2 Senate seats on January 5th. If they do, they'll control the Senate and be able to probably pass anything they want, even without Mitch McConnell's support. Even with Mitch McConnell, they only need a few Republicans to vote and pass any more stimulus bills that happen in the future. And Democrats can pass all bills in the House of Representatives all by themselves without a single Republican vote. Remember, we had about 90% approval on this stimulus package deal. So the vast majority of Republicans did vote yes on this deal. So going forward, we actually need a much smaller amount of Republicans to actually support this. So it's probably going to have at least 1 or 2 more stimulus packages going forward. Don't forget to subscribe to this new channel, The Daily Dirt, and like this video. I believe my wife will be on tomorrow hosting the Daily Dirt episode for tomorrow. We don't have set times yet. It's probably 6 p.m. Eastern, but just make sure you have the bell icon clicked with all notifications on, so you just get notifications when we go live. And click this video here to watch our first video on this channel with more details about the stimulus package proposal if you haven't yet. There's a lot of details in there in the stimulus package that just passed. Thanks for watching the Daily Dirt, guys, and I will see you in the next video.